Welcome to Toffee TV. This is the Everton News Daily. Before we begin, this video is sponsored by OneFootball. OneFootball's app makes it possible to keep up to date with all the latest scores, transfer rumours and stats, all in the one place. To download the app, click the link in the description. Gomes has been given a 3-match ban by the FA for his stamp on Alexander Mitrovic at the weekend. It was highlighted on Match of the Day. It went to an FA panel on Monday and Everton had until 6 o'clock last night to appeal it or react to it. And today's been given a 3-match ban, which means that he has played his last game at Goodison Park this season. Potentially, has he played his last game at Goodison Park ever? Who knows? We won't know until the summer, but Gomes is going to be out now for 3 of the next 4 games. He'll return to the Everton squad if he's injury free for the trip to Tottenham Hotspur, the last game of the season. So really disappointing, but to be honest, not unexpected. As you can see, the ball's nowhere in sight there. Andre is hitting Mitrovic, so there you go. Bit silly from the Portuguese midfielder, and he's now... But I suppose what it does is it gives other players the opportunity to step in. It's a big game on Sunday, and we're going to need to be at our very best. Moving on, Everton's under-23s won the Premier League title, Premier League 2, last night. Josh Bowler scored the winning goal. It was a cracking goal, cutting in and curling it into the far corner. And he's described the moment as his best ever in his career. He is only a young lad, so fair enough. But he went on about David Unsworth and Alan Kelly telling him to start curling his shots rather than just lashing it, as he put it. And that's what he'd been working on in training this week. And it showed. It was a cracking goal, cutting in. He had a good game. He really impressed last night and was one of the standout performers. And it's got a lot of people talking about whether he could potentially make the step up into the first team squad. I think probably he'd have to go out on loan first and get a little bit more first team football. He was in Queen's Park Rangers first team squad before Everton brought him to the club a couple of years ago. But brilliant moment for him last night, brilliant moment for all the 23s as they sealed their second Premier League 2 title in 3 years. And Josh Bowler, a moment I'm quite sure he will remember for a long time, being able to celebrate at the end, the park end where all the fans were. So great moment for him. Another player who played in that game last night, Brendan Galloway, is expected to leave Goodison Park in the summer. He'd made 21 first team appearances for Everton under Roberto Martinez. And it looked at one stage as though he was going to be the one who really pushed Leighton Baines for that left back spot. Came from MK Dons as a ball playing centre back. And I remember at the time people were talking about him and John Stones being a future partnership, being great on the ball. Well, John Stones' career's gone like that. He moved to Man City for 50 million and Brendan Galloway's has gone the other way. Really disappointing what's happened to Brendan. He looked like a good prospect. You know, played his part when we beat Chelsea, I remember, setting Stephen Naismith's first of his hat-trick goals up. And had a good start to the season, but like I say, fell away. You know, when he turned out last night, played well in the under-23s last night. They beat Brighton 1-0, but again, looks like he may have played the last game at Goodison Park in a blue shirt. Bit disappointing, but you know, he's got to move on. I think he's 22, 23 years of age now, and he's got to move on for the sake of his career. Another player who played in last night's victory was 18-year-old Lewis Gibson. He had a strong game. Started off a little bit shakily, but got better and better as the game went on. And he's been speaking about making the move from Newcastle. He's a Newcastle United fan as a kid, season ticket holder. He said he loved playing for them. It was a difficult decision, but wanted to move to Everton. Has improved since he came here. He's played for England at youth level as well. He come for £6 million. And he's someone who Everton have got high hopes for. He's trained with the first team quite a bit. He said he's been trying to learn off Kurt Zouma in training, watch what he does. He's been trying to catch the eye of Marco Silva, and there were some pictures of him last week training with the first team ahead of Everton's trip to Fulham. He'd have probably done better than half of our players if he'd have played at the weekend. But it's thought the next logical step for Lewis now is to go out on loan and play at league level and really get, you know, the next step of his education. You know, he's won the league in the 23s, played very well as well. You know, so we'll have to wait and see what happens with him, but he's certainly a player to keep an eye on out of that under-23 squad. And finally, Everton have again today been linked with Chelsea striker Michy Batshuayi. He's on loan at Crystal Palace, went on loan there in January. He scored 3 goals in 11 appearances for Palace. The fee's thought to be around 35 to 40 million pound, but again, the question marks over these links are Chelsea's transfer ban and what happens with that, and are they prepared? If they're not able to bring in any strikers, are they prepared to let a striker who they own go out? Either, you know, I know it'd be a permanent deal, you know, but are they going to do that? I'm just not sure they'd be prepared to let someone who can get them goals go out the door. You know, the same with Kurt Zouma, isn't it? You know, they're 2 players who are out on loan at Premier League clubs who could potentially go back into that Chelsea squad if they're not able to buy anyone and make them a little bit better. So, you know, I can understand Everton being interested in him. He's 25 years of age now. Like you can see there, he's played for Dortmund, he's been at Valencia, Chelsea, you know, Marseille earlier in his career. So he's played at some good clubs, never been able to hold down a regular place for Chelsea, but he's a lively striker, he's got good movement and good ability. You could understand why Everton would be interested in a striker of his age and his movement. But for him, he needs a club that he can settle at and start making that number 9 his, I suppose. But we'll have to wait and see. Again, it's all up in the air with Chelsea and what's happening with them. That is it for the News Daily. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. It takes a second. If you want more videos, get over and join us on Patreon. Thanks for watching. See you later.